big man. Listen to him.
I'm kidding. I can edit that part out. It's probably woken up lazy.
He
But welcome to another.
About to get embarrassed on his own show.
Welcome to another episode of Legion of Good Podcast. This is episode number 2. Today we have Eric. Once again, he was at the practice road yesterday. Today we have a new guest. Too cool.
What's up?
You want to shout out your channel, where we're gonna have our weekly that we actually have to start.
Yeah, channel's Anthem Industries, but to find it easily, just type in DC TOOCOOL and pop up.
Because starting probably this month, when this wrestling hype is going on, we want to do weekly shows. I think we're going to do either Friday or Sunday, and we're going to wrestling matches and stuff like that. So you can find that there. And then Eric, he's just Eric, nothing special, no YouTube channel, no Twitter, barely has a Facebook, no Instagram. He's a farmer, you know. So
I'm a ghost.
You know, so yeah, there's that. DC, you want to go on the first topic?
Sure. Let's go ahead and do this Leo Rush story. Paraphrase. He basically clapped back at the rumor mill, and he's basically saying that he has no beef with Bobby Lashley. I don't even know where that came from. I ain't heard nothing about that. But his catchphrase, the Lashley catchphrase, is on the back of his shirt, and that shirt's selling, and he's not getting any money, any revenue off of that, which is pretty jacked up because they're supposed to be a team, like a manager, and like a package deal. He's talking about how he has to pay for all these hotels and everything out of pocket. He's walking around broke as a joke in the biggest wrestling company in the world. He also talks about how there's no beef for him or Finn Balor. Everybody's cool with his wife, and that's not true. And apparently somebody higher up in management hasn't liked him since his Ring of Honor days and never cared for trying to get him fired for whatever reason. And last but not least, he basically says that they need to spread positivity on these sheets and tell the truth instead of trying to get clicks, get likes, and slander people.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty messed up that they had a shirt that he didn't get anybody or anything like that. That's bogus. What do you think about that payment, Eric?
Look, if they're using it as catchphrase or what, even if he's somehow involved with that shirt, which he is because he's manager, he should be getting some sort of
the phrase that he uses, the Lashley phrase that he coined for Lashley, that phrase, that paraphrase is on the back of the merchandise, So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. Hopefully everything works out for his end.
Give this man what he's owed.
He's like he said, he has a wife and 2 kids that he's raising and taking care of, and it's just walking around broke.
Yeah, let me add to that story too that he also said that it's not about race but perception matters, and that when he comes with the bus and stuff with the rest of the boys and everything, he's coming off and he got like the water bottles and all this kind of stuff and bags, and everybody's like, well, thinking like, oh, look at the black kid carrying everybody's stuff, look at the boy type of deal.
Right.
So you say like that's not cool.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. That does.
Who's that? Just like the fans, or who's saying that?
Yeah, Leo Rush who said that about how they use him, and how people perceive him, how it looks to people who don't know any better. You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you can't really blame people for that. Like if they don't know anybody.
No, he's not blaming the people. He's blaming the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's blaming the company, not the people.
Well, what's the company going to do about that, though?
Stop having him like the bag boy. Stop having him carry everybody's waters. Stop trying to punish him for something he hasn't done wrong.
Water?
Apparently, according to what he says, he's carrying enough to where people thinking that he's Farnsworth Bentley.
No, like I thought you meant like he was carrying his own shit, which whatever. Everyone carries their own bags.
Right.
But if he's carrying other people's bags, or if he is like labeled the bag carrier or the water boy, that's pretty screwy.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
They're giving him the rookie
I don't know the
treatment,
details. I just know what he talked about. So
they're giving him that rookie treatment. That's what they do to the rookies in like football, and they make them carry everything. And
that might be the case too. Kind of.
But that's still sad because he came from he was on 205 and all that. Like I mean, I get he's on the main roster now and whatever. He's technically a rookie to the main roster, but still, like you don't gotta be that mean, Even, but I don't know.
Wrestling's always been a pretty mean business. So.
Yeah, it has been.
It has been, but WWE particularly be ridiculous. Management, not the talent, but management. They be ridiculous. Some of their schizophrenic, decisions they make and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you today, can't stay you next week.
Right.
Push you for 6 months, bury you for another year, just all over the place.
Yeah. Well. So is he leaving WWE? Like, is he leaving then? Is he?
I don't think he's leaving. I believe he's basically is being verbal and basically because he's one of the few people, if not the only people, who's actually come out went directly to one of these dirt sheets. I mean, I'm not sure about how because this is on Fightful. Fightful.com. I'm not sure how credible Fightful is or whatever. I know a lot of people reference them to make their reports and stuff. But he apparently, I guess he asked for his interview. He set the record straight. He went out his way to set the record straight about what's really going on and everything. So you got to give him his credit for that because, you hear all these stories and stuff and nobody ever comments on them. They just let it just be out there lingering and nobody ever says anything about it, So whether it's real or not, we don't know. The fans don't know, whatever. We just got to go by what we hear. So it's pretty interesting the fact that he actually went out, set the record straight, gave his side of the story, and everything. So, and I do believe a lot of these stories, they may have some truth to them, but I do believe they're exaggerated because people are, especially a lot of these people who, the Ryan Sattins and stuff or whatever, the people, the Dave Meltzers, no shot at them, but their job is reporting wrestling news, whether it's real, fake, or different. In the middle, it's their job is being quote unquote journalists.
Right.
So
they just got to get it out of there, kind of thing.
Yeah, they gotta get their money. So
right, yeah. Well, so that's probably the topic of people reaching out and going, whatever. I don't know if this is true at all. I saw it on Facebook. You can't really trust Facebook. I shouldn't get my stuff off Facebook, but I saw this and I thought it was pretty interesting. I sent it to UDC, the whole AJ Styles thing. Supposedly AJ Styles was doing a live stream playing a game, and somebody in the comments asked him about AEW, and supposedly, don't know if it's legit, but his response was, I do miss Kenny. Kenny's a good friend of mine. Kenny Omega's a great friend of mine. The Bucks also good friends of mine. I said this before, I'll say it again. AEW, I hope they just do amazing. I hope they kill it. There's no doubt in my mind that these guys are definitely going to work hard to make it something different, something new, to be alternative.
Alternative.
Good job, thank you. That's why we're here. And the great thing about that is the competition. Competition is always a good thing for fans. Like we want that competition makes everything better.
I know he does mixer every night, pretty much every night now at the hotel. He's big mixers on Xbox. Everybody who doesn't know, it's basically like the streaming service, and AJ's a big Xbox guy, and he'd be on mixer pretty much all the time. So I don't know if he said that or not, but if he did say that, although it's the truth,
that was the spotlight on Facebook. They put some. Usually they are pretty legit with their news, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't watch the stream myself. I just saw.
I believe that's the truth, and I do believe that
probably is.
That's his opinion, but
because he is a good friend
you can't have an honest opinion.
No,
you can't have an honest opinion. WWE, no,
that's another thing.
You can't have an opinion. WWE and get out there. They punish you for stuff like that.
Once again, I don't know if this is legit. I heard it on Joe Cronin's podcast today. But Dean Ambrose, I know that's really legit. John Moxley, we'll talk more about that after this, posted on Twitter yesterday, and right at midnight, right when his release was up, he posted a video, kind of him, like I said, we'll talk more about that. But anyways, supposedly Seth Rollins commented on that and put a thumbs up, fist pump. So that's another thing that could get him in trouble. Like, you're supporting Dean Ambrose leaving and changing his name. So I don't know if that's legit either. And I'm pretty sure Joe Cronin usually doesn't put fake news out there. He's a podcaster. I would hope his news is legit. So yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, Joe Cronin's usually pretty legit, man. He don't like put the bullshit.
So yeah, that's two things, and that's people are reaching out. Seth Rollins, Booker T, who's a Hall of Famer and works for WWE. He has
that's their friend. That's their friend.
He has a podcast on YouTube.
That's their opinion. They should be able to have that.
And he talks good about it.
The company's spiteful because
Right.
Go ahead, Peyton. Sorry.
Didn't like Triple H and Shawn Michaels give the other guys a send off?
Yep. Oh god, it's a classic moment.
Nash and Skull.
I forget what. I can't remember the name of that
WrestleMania,
moment.
Wasn't it? Or no?
I think it was WrestleMania.
Was it?
Was it
Dang.
recent? How long ago was it?
No, this is back in the mid-90s because Hall and Nash were going to
When you were going
WCW.
to- yeah,
Okay, I'm thinking about
Um,
you remember the last WrestleMania where it was like NWO came out or whatever and DX came out and they at the end they did the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
like that's what okay they did the whole thing
That
at
was
the
the
end.
Hall of Fame speech, isn't it? You talking about?
Oh man, I cannot remember the name of that segment.
I'll have to YouTube it later.
Because what it's basically, it was one of the first moments in wrestling we saw them break kayfabe and everything. And at that time, especially during the '90s and mid-'90s, Monday Night Wars, that was unheard of, and it's something you didn't do. It was a huge no-no, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels have been feuding with these guys for months. Everything they supposed to hate each other's guts. For them to have a four-way embrace in the ring, and I'm losing a steel cage match no less. People were like, "What the hell is going on here? What's going on?" We were on the internet back then, so a lot of people really bought more into the gimmicks and the character stuff back then because there was no internet and there was no really word of mouth like it is now. So people were like, "What is going on here?" I can never remember the name of that segment. I have to look it up. It's going to bother me.
We'll look it up and we'll go right back to that segment.
Yeah, but Shawn Michaels and Triple H they got in shit for that too. Like, wasn't Vince furious about it? But that was back then. Like I see AJ Styles saying something about AEW, Seth Rollins saying something about Dean Ambrose leaving. I don't think they would get so angry at that.
Maybe not, but they'll probably get a little butthurt about it. But
You talking about back then?
now,
Well, yeah, back then, back then, I understand it being a big deal, but nowadays, like you've done way worse. Like you had Ronda Rousey calling the disarmer a fake armbar. Ronda Rousey pretty much.
But it's a little different. It's a little different though because
remember you can't wrestle 7 months while you're pregnant. Remember that.
It's a little different because they were in charge of that. Like they actually had her do that. To add heel to add fuel to her heel heat and everything like that to make it come off a little more quote unquote legitimate, so on and so forth.
That makes sense.
That's something they knew about, but this they went behind everybody's back and did this on their own accord.
Did they just
curtain
treat someone?
Call. That's what it was called. It was called curtain call. I knew.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of that. Curtain call. It was Madison Square Garden. Curtain call.
But there's a few people. I mean, the only person I could think of was Punk, who used to get yelled at all the time for putting shit on Twitter. Little shit. Like he would get talked to all the time. Like didn't make it public, but he would get talked to or whatever and say like you can't do that. You're supposed to represent blah blah blah, and and he said it happened a lot. A lot of times he got yelled at for putting something, for liking a different of TNA, whatever.
Right.
He didn't say that, but he said liking something, sharing something. If it wasn't to their standards, they'd get mad.
Now wait. What did you say a minute ago? Pavement. Did you say that you're surprised they got that mad at them for that back then?
No. Like I understand them getting mad. What I'm saying is, I'd be surprised if they got as mad today if that were to happen.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure Seth Rollins or whatever, they probably ran it by Triple H at least. And even if it's furious, I'm sure Triple H will kind of step in,
Well, like Chris Jericho said.
We're in that.
Like Chris Jericho said, he had a interview or whatever, and they were asking him questions like that, and he said like a lot of people think, oh, you're gonna be hated because you traded on WWE or whatever. And he said no, like him and Triple H and McMahon, they're still really good friends and they respect each other. He was at Ric Flair's 70th whatever legit birthday party. Everyone was there. So he said there's no hard feelings. They're probably a little butthurt, like wishing he's a big name, Chris Jericho, but they respect it and they understand it, blah blah blah. So Dean Ambrose left on pretty good terms, I would think, so they probably respect it too. They understand, to a point.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, like I said earlier, he released a video right at midnight. His release was yesterday, May 1st. So right at midnight, he released that video, and it was kind of like he was breaking out of prison. He was breaking out of prison, so it's kind of like he's saying WWE's prison. He's finally out. He's no longer Dean Ambrose. There's hounds. It's funny because it's legit. The hounds were chasing him, which are the hounds of justice, Shield. He's finally gone from that. He could be his own man. He doesn't have to read from a script. In that promo, people are like, oh, maybe it's just a mark. It could be WWE. I don't think it would be that because he had the freaking barbed wire. He was bleeding. WWE does not like, blood for whatever reason. As soon as someone bleeds, they stop the match and wipe that crap off. So he, in the promo, he's bleeding, blah blah blah. He's leaving. There was a dice that said 2-5 on it. So people are saying May 25th is the Double or Nothing. 205. But no, they're saying 25. They're saying that's the 25th of May, which is Double or Nothing. So they're saying that he might make his debut in May 25th. But like we were saying off the podcast, there's a 90-day no compete call out. So I wonder something in that contract. Maybe they somehow are allowing it for whatever reason. Yeah,
everybody has special contracts. He might have had a contract where either he didn't have that or
right. There's anything. Maybe it's
he has some kind of loophole or something.
What I
apparently
thought. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's that story.
Yeah.
Apparently, so this is just what I got when I heard it, but something about basically. So I guess he had Twitter before he got with WWE. He got with the WWE. Of course, he's Dean Ambrose, whatever, changed his name, whatever the case may be. And then after WWE, after he quit, whatever the case may be, and he's released, and this could be part of the 90-day no compete clause because he beat them at their own game. So since he can't compete, what he does is he hypes himself up and he releases that video teaser on Twitter because he's technically not competing, but he's still promoting himself and everything. Was under John Moxley, and apparently WWE didn't think about that. And basically, now they're scrambling, and now they're pretty much getting everybody's password and emails for all the Twitter accounts.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, and then basically, so now your Twitter profile, just like your contract, is part of WWE's ownership. And if you want to, have that, access that Twitter, if you're with them or whatever, fine. But if you quit, fire, whatever comes first, you want to release that Twitter to them. That's theirs for the foreseeable future, pretty much forever, whatever the case may be. And you have to make a new Twitter handle to go with your new character name, persona, whatever.
Well, that's fun. I'm laughing because it's funny but shitty at the same time. Like, that's fucked up, man. Because I get it. I get what they're doing. I understand it. But they've had this Twitter before. Before they some of them had it before they went to WWE, and you built that following with 1,000 people, 2,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously go to WWE, get a bigger name, so then you get the millions or 100,000s or whatever.
Right.
I get what they're doing, but they should have some type of compromise. Maybe you get it back.
Likes to try. They
really I get it. It's smart. It's smart. Because now Dean Ambrose has this following that he got some of it because of WWE before that. So if they were to take that away, you could put that video out there. Someone's gonna see it. The world's smart. Someone's gonna find out.
Right.
But it might take more time for someone to see that video than it would. You know what I mean? So I get what they're doing.
Right. Exactly.
It's smart, but shitty at the same time. But what I was going to say is, what would be cool is if every week, leading up to AEW, they release another video, okay? I also got this idea from, Joe Cronin and his cast, but they said, anything like this, you put one video next week, and it's him getting into a car, the police are following him. Okay, the police could be Triple H, whatever, mindset, whatever. They're following him, trying to get him back. And then that's all you see. The next video, he's getting closer, maybe you see a Las Vegas sign in that video, okay? The third week would be May 25th. In that week, they don't release a video until Double or Nothing. If he could do it, maybe he can't, legal terms, whatever. But if his contract is free and he's able to do it, 90 days, whatever, not a thing. 25th comes up. You see that video, and it's him arriving at Double or Nothing.
That would be pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Exactly, and shout out to Joe Cronin. That's and his that's awesome. Anything like that where you finally have that last release. Maybe they do a countdown, 5, 4, and then that's where he pulls up. He's looking, takes his glasses off, he looks, smiles, and walks into the doors.
One thing I want to point out, like, a lot of people are talking about how he's going to be there in Double or Nothing or whatever, or as soon as someone leaves the company, or they're AEW bound.
Right.
I want to say right now AEW's they're pretty stacked when it comes to a roster, and if they keep on taking talent, or if people keep on expecting Dean Ambrose to show up for Double or Nothing, like, it's going to take from the actual show.
Right.
Right now they've got fucking Cody, Young Bucks, Goldust, whatever, Chris Jericho,
Lucha
Omega.
Bros.
Lucha Bros, whoever. But they've got a stacked roster, and if
they do.
if they're gonna dilute the pay-per-view show for just people walking up, then it's gonna have like that WCW effect where everyone was just jumping on the NWO, and by the end, like you just didn't care. So right now, like I know
Yeah.
fucking Luke Harper's asking for the end of his contract, or he was. You had other people. Leo Rush might leave.
That's
Whatever.
that's right.
That doesn't mean
The
AEW
revival.
has to pick them up.
No.
Like there's Impact, there's Ring of Honor, like
And Impact's
people
getting
just keep on
Impact's
wanting-
it's getting big, well, bigger to
New,
a point.
New Japan doing their American tour.
Yeah, like all I'm trying to say is like people keep on expecting AEW to pick up these contracts, which would be
Right.
awesome. But at this moment, I wouldn't think that's a good idea. Like they don't want to kind of spread themselves
Yeah,
out.
Tony Khan spoke on that too. He
Yeah,
said that was one of the major problems that happened with WCW. He said you had this huge roster, so many great talents and stuff, but it became over capacity. Like you couldn't showcase everybody a 2-hour show weekly.
Exactly,
And he had
that's what I'm
more
saying.
people they could. I had people that had to pay. You had all these people you weren't really using and stuff, and you want to keep the quality high. You want everybody to get a chance. And you can't. Everybody. I mean, that's the problem with WWE right now. They're so. I mean, they're a huge company. You got 4 brands. But you cannot sign every talented wrestler in the world. It's impossible. And you all have more talent in this company now than you ever have. And I'll say it, more than the Attitude Era, more than the Golden Era. You have the most raw in-ring performance talent in that company you ever had in the history of that company.
Yeah, and that's what WWE was doing. Like a few years back, like they were going out and taking all the indies. Like they got Daniel Bryan, they took AJ Styles, all these free agents who are going fucking place to place.
Tyler
picking
Black,
them
Seth
up, and-
Rollins.
Yeah, Samoa Joe, a whole bunch of them. Yeah, they're taking them, and like you said,
Monday Night Raw like TNA Impact in 2008.
yeah, like right now, you got Bobby Roode, fucking AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. You have all the TNA guys and fucking almost holding belts right now.
At one point, they had Kid Cash over there.
But in doing that, like they have so much guys that they're just burying big names, like fucking
Exactly.
Prince Devitt. You bring in Prince Devitt, and then you make him huge as Finn Balor in NXT. Then you bring him to the roster, and you fuck him up. And then you fuck up someone else like Samoa Joe. You fuck up someone like Shinsuke Nakamura. You fuck up Robert Roode. You fuck up so many other people, and that's the problem. AEW doesn't have to fucking worry about picking up all these contracts. They've got a good start. Everything is laid out for them. They should focus on the smaller people that they have. I don't even remember who they've got so far. But yeah, focus on those guys.
They got Jungle Boy, they got Britt Baker, they got Nyla Rose, they got Kylie Ray, which is one of Booker T's students. They have they have
like
Bria what's her name? Bria Paisley, I think? Will Ospreay's wife, whatever girl's name is.
Focus on these guys and make them just as big as the John Moxleys, as
Exactly.
Luke Harper's, and then when you have these guys established, you can start adding more belts, more other things, and then bring in other talent to go against your champions. If you're going to bring in the Dean Ambrose and then have him fucking push to the top and bury your main roster, then what's the point?
True. Very true.
I 100% agree with you there, Payment. I do. And that's the thing. The moment someone leaves or someone's talking about leaving, the first thing people are saying is, "Oh, AEW this."
Yeah.
So I do agree. They shouldn't go sign everyone.
Smart, they shouldn't be doing
No,
that, which I don't think they even have been doing.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're doing some of the big names, like Dean Ambrose is a big name, and they want. I mean, I don't think they'll get everyone, but I think they want some. Like if they could get CM Punk, they're probably going to get him if they can get him, because that's a huge name, and they want this.
CM Punk will make sense. CM Punk will make sense for them. For the kind of company they are, from based on being the elite and name of their family, kind of edgy, kind of alternative product, CM Punk could work well there. He would fit. But everybody from W is not going to fit. Everybody from W,
No, and that's the thing I was going to say. That's what Chris Jericho. Well, that thing I told you about this. I don't know how true it is, but something that Chris Jericho was saying, how he doesn't want all WWE stars, like he doesn't want this to be like whatever. He wants of course there's some guys on WWE that they would love to have, but there's some guys they honestly just don't care about. So, and I think that was kind of stop saying, oh, Hornswoggle's a free agent, let's sign him, or people that fucking homosexual, the dude that had the thing with that girl or whatever. That girl, no, fucking that I can't think of his name. The dude that no chin, people
James Ellsworth.
people that they obviously don't care about. No offense, I'm personally a big fan of Kurt Hawkins, but people like Kurt Hawkins, they probably don't want Kurt Hawkins right now, but stuff like that. But obviously CM Punk, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, they're probably gonna jump and try to get that because it's a big name. But I do agree they shouldn't jump on everything right away. Let these people
Honestly,
I don't.
In Dean Ambrose's case, I think it would be better for him to actually hit up some indies before he gets on AEW.
Right.
Yeah, really reinvent himself and get him where he needs to be.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Make a comeback, kind of reinvent himself as John Moxley, whatever. He's established. People will pick up right where he left off.
I agree.
And then once he starts getting big, once he starts going into the Ring of Honor or whatever, then bring him into a crossover, a clash, or whatever, and then you can push him. But if you're just bringing Dean Ambrose, then you're probably going to push him, and then he's going to bury some of your talent, which is kind of...
Oh, yeah, of course.
The thing is, too, AEW used to do what WCW did. In WCW, in the sense of making homegrown stars. Yeah, you took a lot of WF talent or NWA talent, stuff like that and everything, but they made a lot of homegrown stars. Sting was a tri-blue original. From the day they opened to the day they closed. He was the face of their company. He was an original. He was a top talent. Booker T, Harlem Heat originals, Dean Malenko, what I'm saying, Raven and the Flock. I mean, granted they came from ECW, but they became big deals when they were in WCW. Vampiro, Dark Lotus, guys like that. Like these guys were only WCW or known for being WCW.
Even people like Chris Jericho and stuff.
Yeah, Chris Jericho.
Eddie Guerrero was huge, or he's always been big. He's come
exactly. WCW brought the cruiserweights in. Yep, they brought the cruiserweights in. Rey Mysterio would never been what he is now if it had not been for WCW. Eddie Guerrero too.
Mm-hmm.
That major platform that got them where they needed to be, showcasing the cruiserweights at the beginning of the show, the way it should be. Get everybody hyped.
No, put them on the pre-show.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Ultimo Dragon, who took Guerrero Psychosis. I love that. I love that entire division. I was a big fan of that entire division. Billy Kidman. Those was good times.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I agree with that though, Payment. You have a really good point. And that you're not the only person that's said. A lot of people are saying that about not signing everyone as let them rebuild themselves in the independence. Let AEW become big before we hype the hype train. We don't technically really know what this first show's going to be. We don't know how good it's going to be. We don't know, it might be trash. We don't know. So like I said, let AEW build themselves, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be, get more titles, and then sign Cena, Ambrose, maybe AJ Styles, Samoa Joe eventually, But don't do it all right away. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, Samoa Joe, frankly, if WWE keeps this up with him, though, he should walk and go to AEW, in my viewpoint.
You think he should go to AEW right away, or should he wait? Go to Ring of Honor for a while?
I think he should, because Samoa Joe, contrary to anybody's belief, he's booked right, he's instant money. He's already had that fan base, he's already been around the world. He's done everything he needs to do in Ring of Honor and Impact in Japan. He's a top star, and WWE just doesn't see that. You go to AEW, he gets pushed. He got to be everybody in the world, but he gives a solid push. He stays strong. He wins championships. He helps other guys get over and where they need to be, and he needs to be pushed, with the way he should be. AJ's gonna be fine. AJ's a top guy there. Seth Rollins is gonna be fine. He's a top guy there. Bobby Roode, hopefully this new gimmick or whatever, this Ravishing Rick Rude-esque type of character can help get. I mean, the thing is, Bobby Roode was already fine before that. The company just didn't see it, So, but we'll see if how long this push lasts. If he actually gets a push, if not, again, for people like him, who's kind of on the tail end of his career because he's he's in his 40s, 41, 42, whatever. He's maybe got 5-6 good years left. People like him need to go to AEW because to get the last prime of their years out, or whatever the case may be, because the company just don't see it. So, that's what I would do with people like that. But again, just because he tries to apply there doesn't mean he's going to get a job there, but he could try.
Touche. Brock Lesnar retired from the UFC.
I really wanted to see him fight Cormier, so.
So did I.
That's kind of
It does suck. And how do you feel about that, DC? Do you care that he retired?
I was interested in the fight to see what was going to happen because I personally think, I like Brock Lesnar, everything, but I personally think Brock Lesnar was going to get knocked smooth out.
You think so?
I think Cormier was going to put it on. I think Cormier was going to put it on. I think Cormier was going to put it on him.
Well,
that'd be a popular opinion.
He wants to retire soon from.
But I mean, if he's done, he's done. I mean, it's his choice. Really, the man has anything else to prove. I mean, he won the title. He's accomplished, he's a collegiate wrestler, natural wrestling. I mean, professional wrestling. I mean, the guy made all his money. He's a household name. I mean,
right.
I mean, he don't have anything to prove to nobody. I mean, he wants to retire. Then he wants to spend time with his family and his kids more. I mean,
right, and I 100% agree that agree and respect that opinion. I mean, it does suck. I want to see him fight as well. But they're saying, I mean, that because some people are saying he might have, failed his piss test, have steroids in his system, whatever the case may be. Like last time,
his career away.
Supposedly, when you leave and you retire or whatever, they can't legally disclose your documents or whatever, your medical documents and stuff like that. So people are saying
medical documents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people are saying that maybe, and it's very possible Brock Lesnar. No offense to you, but it's very possible of you. So they're saying that, which makes sense. He does that. He fails. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna retire. Screw it. I'm making money somewhere else. And then they can't do nothing about it. Like, oh shoot. So
it's a possibility. I mean, because it didn't come randomly. But here's the thing too, though, and this is the thing too. This taught everybody a lesson, though. The whole Brock Lesnar thing, I think, taught a lot of people a lesson about assuming. Brock Lesnar never once said he's going to fight again. He never once said that he's going to challenge A, B, C, and D. People call him out and say something about him.
But he made it kind of like he freaking showed up after DC won the belt and came in the ring and got into his face.
He did.
I mean,
he did. But DC called him out too, though. DC called him out to the octagon.
But if you're not going to fight the guy, don't. It's like it could have just been, made people like, oh my god. It could, we don't know. Maybe he's legit wants to retire and spend more time. We don't know. But if I start seeing,
I mean, maybe his wife, maybe Sable was like, you know what? I'm tired of you getting beat up on. I'm tired of our kids seeing you, seeing you, go through this stuff. I don't want you to fight anymore. I mean,
we don't. Yeah, we don't know. We honestly don't know. And we're probably not gonna know because, But I agree with you there, DC. I do, but it could be anything. It makes sense with his, but it could be something else. I mean, it was suspicious. UFC was kind of talking about the fact that it's going to happen. He showed up in the ring after he won, or the octagon, and got into his face. They got into a little verbal argument, pushing a little bit, blah, blah, blah. So, we don't know.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll come out and he'll still actually fight, because, I mean, we heard somebody say that Dana White told, Brock Lesnar told Dana White, or Brock Lesnar told this guy. We have not actually had an official ESPN confirmation of Brock Lesnar saying this himself.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe he still will fight, but he won't fight. But I mean, it's what it is. We fight, cool. I'll watch it. If we don't, cool. I'll live. Either way it goes.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I mean,
it'd
be cool. What are you laughing over there for?
You guys both stopped to see what the other was gonna say.
I thought I had something else to say.
No, realistically, Naomi. Did you have something about Naomi? You were saying? Was that what we were talking about?
Naomi?
Was that you were gonna? Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
You mean Carmella?
Carmella. There you go. How? Yeah, go. She's on a home wrecker.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Carmella came out. She was on the Bella Twins podcast, which the Bella Twins. Yes, apparently they're giving me a podcast these days. I swear, any going with internet connection and a Dollar General Mike. You know.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying?
I mean,
While we're on the topic of the podcast, please like and subscribe.
Oh, wait a minute, hold
and
on.
share.
No disrespect to the Bella Twins, but we got more talent than they got. I'm sorry. You know.
Okay.
I mean,
also a little questionable there.
Like
any goon could do a podcast.
The Bella Twins are okay. The Bella Twins are okay, you know. But here's the thing: the Bella Twins, I do not want to hear talk for no 2 hours or whatever, hour and a half. I have him and girls talk. You know, that's just me. That's my personal opinion.
I am trying to look for him 2 hours straight.
If you don't think you're a Bella Twins fan, no smoke on them. I would not want to hear them talk for no 2 hour podcast, hour and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, Carmella, so she came out defending herself. She was on the Bella Twins podcast. She basically said, you know, that she's not a home wrecker. She would never wreck somebody's home, and that, you know, the issues with Corey Graves and his wife were stemming and they were deep, rooted way before she came along. And, you know, she said that no matter how hot she thought a guy was to her, or how much she thought she was in love with this, you know, said man, you know, that she would never interfere with that man's marriage, whatever the case would be. That's not what she's about. She ain't about that life. That's not how she get out. That's not what she do. So everybody was saying that, you know, Carmella came in, you know, with Corey Graves and, you know, messing around with him on the side, knowing he was married, all that kind of stuff. That's not what happened. He's already possibly getting divorced. It was already downhill. You know, they're separated. There's not legally divorced yet on paper. They're going through the process. And Carmella, according to her and her words, didn't do anything wrong. So there you go. Now, what y'all think about that?
Corey's married, isn't he? To the
whoever? He is married, but but that relationship was ending.
They're separated. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're separated. Mm-hmm. They're splitting. They're already split officially. Like he's not even in the house anymore, nothing like that. He hasn't been.
Yeah, but was he separated and split at that time?
Yes. That's what she was saying. He was already separated and split at that time. But they just haven't. Filing for divorce, something like that. It just has on paper officially. They have not been divorced yet, but they are. He's already at the house and separated. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not home record.
So technically, she fucking the married man, but you know, on paper, technically, but
they weren't together, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to know who is a home record though?
Who's that?
JoJo.
Oh, that's what about JoJo. Look.
I love JoJo, and I don't blame Bray Wyatt for taking the heat, taking the bait. But your home record, you're gonna tell me you're going roll. She is knocked up. She's having a little Bray Wyatt baby. He's gonna be preaching.
They already had the baby, didn't they?
He's gonna be featured in the house of whatever the fuck his new gimmick is. Pardon my French.
I'm liking that new gimmick.
I guess, sure, whatever. But I don't know how I feel about it. Hey kids.
When was the last time we saw Bray Wyatt? Was that the Matt Hardy?
The last time we technically saw him was the house show.
Yeah.
The house show, or after they went off the air. After they went off the air of a pay-per-view, I believe it was a pay-per-view. After they went off the air, so the dark match, Bray Wyatt attacked somebody.
I forget who it was, but
I can't remember who it was either.
Or somebody.
So that's the last time we talked
about Bray Wyatt. We gotta talk about this new Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
we were talking about that.
Okay, my fault. I was on now. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I call it. Personally, I call it Chucky. That's what it felt like to me. Like some Chucky
a grown-ass Chucky, yeah, sure.
No, that was like a Mr. Rogers.
It was a Mr. Rogers and somebody put together.
Why I say Chucky is because it's like, because Chucky is like child's play, right? It's the illusion of a child doll, kid friendly, this and that, but it's very sinister. You know, it's very underlying tones. That's why I say Chucky.
Well, kind of like it. Hey, something funny about the whole topic, wrestling not related. Chucky Child's Play looks horrible, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
I still haven't seen the last two.
But hold on, pause. In it's obviously fan made, but they had a fan made Child's Play photo of the movie, and on the floor was Woody's hat and Woody's arm, and with blood. and they both come out the same day, so they're pretty much saying, "Oh, Chucky's gonna be Toy Story's gonna outsell Chucky, no doubt." I would hope.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But they were saying it in a way like Chucky's taking over, and I actually thought if they did like a old, it'd be probably dumb, but I'd probably watch it, cause I like corny stuff. Freddy vs. Jason, corny movie, but I liked it. But anyways, if they did some type of crossover Chucky vs. Toy Story, I'd watch that.
That's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. But in the fan-made photo at Toy Story, Woody's arm, thought that was I laughed at that.
I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm gonna catch hell for this, but I'm gonna say it. I don't know. if you 30 plus years old or close to it, and you go see Chucky by yourself, or I'm to my fellas now, by yourself, or with a group of your homies, with no females, y'all suspect. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. A grown man seeing a movie about a doll, or a kid like he's at least 15 years old, running from a doll baby. I'm sorry.
What if someone rents it? Red boxes it.
It still counts. Nope, suspect.
What if they watch on Netflix? What if they watch it on Netflix?
Nostalgia can only go so far.
What if their subject watched it on Netflix?
If they better be with their girlfriend. That's all I can say about that.
They can't watch it alone on Netflix. No.
It better be her idea. That's all I can say about that.
Okay. Well, no. Here's the thing about Chucky. I like the old Chucky, the original Toy Story, the original Child's Play with me. The original.
First one.
The original.
Second one was pretty bad, and the third one, let's not even talk about.
Which one?
The only good Child's Play is the first one. I don't care.
They do like the other spin-off Chucky's, like Chucky's Bride or whatever. Those ones.
Seeded Chucky, those are terrible.
I laughed at it. They were terrible, but I laughed at Seeded. I laughed at the Seeded Chucky.
But you were a kid too at the time, though.
No, I watched it with a family. Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, Child's Play was not a comedy.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
So they made it a comedy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because the original, the first one,
his son Glenn shitface.
Right. The first one was great, obviously, but.
So there's only so far. There's only so far nostalgia can take you, man.
It's kind of like Halloween. There's so many fucking Halloweens. All these movies, man.
I haven't seen a new one.
It was alright, but it was nothing special. It wasn't something I paid money.
I didn't start a new one. To be honest with you.
The first original, the Halloween with they kind of explain how how psycho he was as a kid and all that. That one was pretty decent. That one was alright. I like that one. And then they have this Halloween fucking H2O or whatever. I was like, okay, now you got to do too much.
Those are all icon. None of those are.
Right.
It's crazy. I think that's stupid.
It is stupid. But I like the Halloween.
You telling me I wasted 20 years of my life for Halloween 1, 2 through 100? Get out of here.
You got that right.
But
dude, on the side note, I'm gonna cut you off. On the side note, I gotta throw this out there. Happy Death Day to you. I don't know if you ever saw the first Happy Death Day movie.
You saw the second one?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to see it. I love the Blumhouse movies and stuff. I love those movies.
Well, I like Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare was
Truth or Dare was good.
Truth or Dare was pretty good.
Like
so I probably will. I'll probably rent.
I like that. I like Happy Death Day. I'm gonna definitely see Happy Death Day to you.
I'm probably gonna rent it eventually. I've been meaning to. I just keep forgetting.
Those are good films. You like the dark humor comedy, type of movies or whatever. Yeah, it was nice.
Well, you gotta go see the second one then.
Well, the second one, I'm not sure if it might still be the movie because it came out, I believe.
It's probably gonna be on DVD soon.
Yeah, but it's probably sometime this summer.
Because movies are going on DVD faster than back. I remember back in the day.
I'll get from Redbox.
It took forever for the movies to be on DVD. Now
it depends on the films. Like,
well, no, I'm just saying. I'm talking about when they get out the theater. I'm saying, like, I'm not talking about theater. I'm talking about.
You're right.
I'm talking about what 3 weeks to a month after they're out of theater, coming to you on DVD. It's a lot faster than back in the day. Back when I was a kid, it took a while. You'd be waiting 2, 3, 4 months.
Technology's advanced, and they're trying to fight these bootleggers.
Well, yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So that was just a little side note talking about movies. I had another task to talk. We talked about Brock Lesnar. How do you feel about Kofi going against KO for the title, or KO going against Kofi for the title, I should say?
Really, the only choice they have right now, honestly.
Right.
Hopefully, it's a solid match. I mean, I don't think Kofi's going to lose the title yet.
No, not to Kevin. I would. This is where my bias. I like Kofi and I like Kevin. I like Kevin a little more than I like Kofi. but I still don't want to see Kofi lose so soon. If that makes sense. What I wanted, as I said in my last podcast, you watched it, what I wanted to see, them, unfortunately D-Bry got hurt, so they can't do that, but I wanted to see him fight D-Bry like it was supposed to happen. And then Kevin Owens is all hyping him up, yeah, new day, whatever. And then Kevin Owens goes in there, and, as he's pinning, and then he, takes him off and super kicks him or whatever. Or does it after he wins, like, oh yeah, you won, congrats, blah, 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 and then super kick him. Or whatever, or do whatever you do, pop a powerbomb, boom, and then that's where they build their feud. And then at SummerSlam, you have KO versus D-Bry versus Kevin. You can do a triple threat if you really want to, but it is what it is. They had no other option, unfortunately, so that's what we're gonna get. Kofi, like you said, I don't think Kofi's losing, not yet.
They're not yet. I mean, you want to get everybody really riled up? Go ahead and let Roman Reigns win the Money in the Bank and put the title on. Let him be close to the title.
I don't think he's in the Money in the Bank. I don't think he's in the Money in the Bank.
Really? I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
I think he's fighting somebody, if I'm not mistaken. I just saw it updated. I
can't believe it.
Elias.
I have no clue.
Elias. You have. So here's the card so far that was put on the 434 Facebook page. I think this is legit. The updated card for Money in the Bank. You have Kevin Owens versus Kofi, AJ versus Seth. You have Shane McMahon versus Miz, Elias versus Roman, Becky versus Charlotte. But there's two pictures there, which is what confusing. They have one where
Becky versus Lacey Evans as well. She got two title defenses.
She is doing two title defenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me say this on that. If WWE does, they can do a predictable thing and have her lose one of the belts. I mean, I wouldn't put it as WWE to have her lose to Charlotte, and she take the belt back to SmackDown, which, in my opinion, just completely negates this whole thing. If that was going to be the case, instead of making one universal title, one unified championship, or have her carry it. What I would do is, I would have her keep winning, because you don't have two title defenses, beating everybody.
Yeah,
you beat
I agree.
You beat Fox, you beat Dana Brooke, you beat, Mandy Rose, whatever. If that you beat everybody, you say, okay, I'm the champ. Becky 2 belts, and I got 2 belts. Can nobody touch either one of these belts, whatever, right? And then you usher in, okay, well, I defend both my championships. They can't even win one of these championships off of me, So then you basically have her or some Stephanie or whoever come in, usher in one championship, be the Unified Women's Championship, instead of 2 belts, because really, the rosters are not big enough for two titles and everything. The roster isn't deep enough. They all need to be on one show. They need to merge them, honestly.
And that's what I was saying. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what they're slowly. It feels like what they're slowly going back into. They're slowly going back to the, the old. I mean, not the old style, but how they had it for a while.
So the question is, why are they giving this AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins match away so fast, so soon?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Mad Money in the Bank so far. Sorry to cut you off. Ricochet.
I want to see AJ in a Money in the Bank. That'd be sweet.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman. Drew McIntyre. Big Head Baron Corbin. Randy Orton.
Wait. Let's restart this. What's the card?
It's the Money in the Bank briefcase. Ricochet.
Okay.
Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the WWE Universal title.
Okay.
Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans for the Raw's Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte for the SmackDown's Women's Championship. Then you have the main men's Money in the Bank. Ricochet versus Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin versus Randy Orton versus Mustafa Ali versus Finn Balor. And then, what's his face? I can't say it. Andrade. Thank you.
His name is Almas.
Ian Almas, baby.
Oh yeah, Almas. The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. Roman Reigns versus Elias. And then you have the women's main event. Alright, it's not main event, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Mandy Rose versus Bayley, Ember Moon, and Carmella.
Well, Ember Moon, that's my pick to win. Ember Moon needs to win this match.
This card, I mean, honestly, it does suck, like you said. They could have had Seth Rollins versus AJ at SummerSlam, But it's not a terrible card. It's not horrible.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just
But
hope
you
they
know what? And
do something
and your
with it.
boy JD said this. You know, and I have to agree with him. It makes sense. They're doing this match to counter AEW and Double or Nothing.
Oh no doubt.
That's the only reason. Why would you switch Money in the Bank
This
now
6 days
to
before.
May?
6 days before.
A week apart.
Yeah,
You
literally.
switched it to May. It's been June the last almost 10 years, and all of a sudden you want to switch it?
You hear about their new?
I mean,
yeah. They got rid of a pay-per-view and then now they're renaming it
yeah,
Stomping Ground.
Yep.
Stomping Ground.
Some hot show nonsense. Yep, that means nothing.
WWE's Stomping Ground. Come on, man.
Stomping Ground play. The Stomping
And then you
Ground up in
have Goldberg gonna be at Saudi Arabia show. We don't know the name of it yet. They haven't really been promoting it at all. So
because they have to promote Money in the Bank first, and then after that, then they'll start promoting it.
But it's in May, isn't it?
No, they switched it. Remember?
Oh, okay.
It would have been in May.
Got you.
But they switched that Money in the Bank.
Okay, I was gonna say because they haven't. I thought it was still in May. I'm like, literally, it's May.
Yeah, that's what happened. They
as we
switched them up
talk.
on you.
Okay. Like I said, I don't watch. Like I said in my last podcast, I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. I'm not ashamed of it. I do need to start watching it because, or at least the highlights to know, to give you guys news. And I'm going to start watching. I'm gonna start watching it more, watching JD, watching Joe Cronin, and having legit news for you guys every single week. But I don't want to sleep early, in the day. And unfortunately, if you watch Raw, you're going to be in bed by 8 o'clock. So I don't want to be in bed by 8 o'clock. So there's that. I do watch pay-per-views, though. I still watch pay-per-views. I will watch. I mean, I know I said I didn't, but now I have to, so that's my excuse. I was on a big hype train where I wasn't going to watch any more WWE at all. No WrestleMania, no SummerSlam, no Royal Rumble. Screw Raw, screw SmackDown. I wasn't going to watch NXT because, NXT's good, and they don't deserve the mistreatment because, unfortunately the big dogs need work.
No pun intended.
Exactly. So, but now I have a podcast I want to do every week for a long time. I hope this podcast is huge. So now, unfortunately, I'm stuck watching WWE. So it is what it is. You guys got lucky.
I was thinking about picking up that Impact app.
Impact.
I never really watched. TNA
you missed out. You missed out.
Spin-off. Let me tell you a story. Okay.
Wait. Give me a second.
It's still TNA, so you can.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me finish what I was going to say.
Okay, fine.
You sent that link that it gives you the free 30-day trial, so I think I'm gonna try that one out.
Yes, I did.
How I like
I'm gonna wait till I have a credit.
I'm
gonna wait till I have money on my card so I can do it too, because then they'll charge you out of nowhere.
Well, it's a free 30-day. Just cancel on the 29th day.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's what I'm gonna do if I don't like it. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. See if they have the old shows.
All you need to do is have all their weekly shows on there, and put their live reviews on there. It can go over.
That. Like I want to see like DVDs and stuff. That'd be sweet too.
Like, you can see all the great matches you missed because you missed out all the classics.
Well, yeah, but like it's better. It's easier to have it just in one spot like that. Essential AJ Styles DVD that you hyped up that one time.
Like to WWE, it could be like WWE Network.
It listened to the hype, didn't it?
Yeah, because like the essential AJ Styles, it lived up to the hype. But there's also like the essential Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, Eric
Christopher Daniels. Oh yeah, classic matches.
Yeah, but like, they have those DVDs too.
Prince
and, like,
Saban,
those are available on the
Machine Guns, yeah, they were amazing. You get to see all the
all those are available on the app. Or like the best of Sting that I can just quickly watch. And it's like, okay, this is what I needed to see.
Best of Gail Kim. If the greatest female wrestler in the world until she retired. Don't at me, motherfuckers.
If she wrestled at Rebellion or whatever.
Yeah, I know. It was a good match. It was a good
match. Sorry, Payment. Go ahead.
Tessa Blanchard's the girl right now. She's doing her thing.
Oh, Tessa Blanchard's awesome. Yeah.
I like Tessa Blanchard a lot. I'll say this. W are fools for letting her go. Because she was in the Mixed Match Challenge, the first one. And she wrestled Kairi Sane in a great match. And they let her walk. They did not sign her.
You see that promo?
Side note, does anyone know how long we've been recording? Sorry.
No, I don't know. This is your podcast, bro.
No, because I know it only goes for an hour, so I gotta make sure I keep an eye. So if we talk longer than an hour, I gotta hurry up and stop. So, but no, yeah, TNA. I personally.
Sorry. That Tessa Blanchard promo where she's walking through the kitchen. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that.
I sent it. It was fire.
Okay, yeah. She's looking for, I think, Gail Kim's husband.
Yeah,
She's like fucking
you looking for
Robert Irvin.
Robert. Robert.
Oh, see,
Um,
that's the wrestling I love. That's good stuff.
so my story, I used to watch TNA back when I can't remember I can't remember when I first started watching it. There's been a time period where I watched it and I stopped watching it, but the time where I actually paid attention and watched every Thursday was when it was AJ Styles, uh, Bullet Club, like before they like I think it was like a few months before Bullet Club became before they were a team. They slowly started having people mass man with, attacking. Not Bullet Club, I'm sorry. The Aces of Eights, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I was just about to
Aces
say,
and
like,
Eights.
what?
Yeah, the
Aces and Eights. I knew what he meant. I was about to correct him. Aces and Eights.
you let me go on 5 minutes without correcting me. The Aces
It
of
was
Eights.
it was more like 15 seconds.
I know the Aces of Eights. My bad. I'm sorry, Charlotte. Whatever. You had that whole gimmick, and it took a couple months before they whatever, and then you had Bully going against whatever, dating Hogan's daughter, and then at that at that cage match, he took a mask off, and turned out that Bully Ray was the head leader of Aces and Eights. That's when I started watching. And that's when I was like, oh my god, this is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles.
Taz is a member and shit. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to quickly say, like, right before I hopped on this podcast, I was watching Bound for Glory 2013.
I've been watching that on YouTube, right?
Bully Ray against AJ Styles in the main event, and that match was pretty fucking sweet. It was a good match. Check it out.
Everything can make anybody look good.
Where did you watch?
Look,
Bully Ray's good too.
Bully Ray looked good too.
Where did you
Bully
watch
Ray's
that
a great
at?
wrestler too. Bully Ray's a classic, and he's a veteran.
You said what?
I was watching on Daily Motion.
Okay, it's on Daily Motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't knocking Bully Ray. He's a veteran.
2012 Ball for Girl.
13,
I think it was
13. I was watching.
No, I'm saying 12 is on YouTube. So if anyone doesn't know what that app is, you should definitely look it up and download it. But if you want to be if you want to just quick, go to YouTube and type in. I think it's 13 that's on there. So I watched that one a couple days ago as well. It was pretty good.
So for TNA, I found it by accident. I'll never forget this. I had a friend. It was like the mid. It was like 2005.
I was gonna continue, but go ahead.
My bad. You want to continue? Go ahead. My bad.
Well, no, all I was gonna say, I was gonna shout out Johnny Impact because I've always been a fan of him for the whole Eminem, fucking Melina, and I've always liked him when he was with The Miz. That's probably was my favorite. Him and The Miz were together.
You remember he was in WCW? He was Johnny Nitro.
I did not.
They never really used him like that. They should have, but he used to be Johnny Nitro.
I did not know that. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I've always liked him. Solomon, with Johnny Mundo, and eventually went to TNA. Now he's Johnny Impact. I didn't really watch. I mean, I saw some of the stuff that he was doing in Impact, but not much until recently. I recently, started looking him up more because I was going to meet him and I wanted to ask some questions and have legit questions. So I kind of started watching more TNA, studying him more, and like, oh my, okay, he's as good as I remember. I met him, liked him even more. He was chill. He was one of the chillest wrestlers I ever met. He was calm. I asked him, you have to throw the AEW question out there because it's what's hot right now, the big topic. I asked him, I was like, so, first I asked him how TNA's treating him. He said, actually way better than he expected. He just wished they had a bigger platform, not Twitch. He wished he had an actual deal on, good deal, TNA TV deal, where he could be more seen. And that's when I asked him, like, well, in that case, you ever think about going to AEW? And he actually answered with saying how his contract actually ends really soon. He said they offered him a contract that's really hard for him to turn down, but he is listening to every promotion that's offering him money. So I thought that was pretty cool. Was not expecting him to be that chill, but he was. So I am also thinking about
Kevin State with your chill is pretty sweet.
Exactly, because Big Cass was a dick about it. He was like, well, free agent, son. Pay me what I'm worth.
Well, was he really a dick, or was he?
No, he was cool. I'm just saying he was cool because he was pretty chill too. He complimented my haircut, blah blah blah. But then I asked him,
probably just in character.
Right? No, he was. It was funny. I laughed. I asked him the whole, are you going to go to, I asked everyone that was still pretty relevant. You going to AEW? And he said, I'm a free agent. Read the shirt. You know. I was like, okay. Sorry.
This man had a shirt saying free agent on
Well, the shirt that DC thought was WWE, it's actually not a WWE shirt. The shirt he wore, it says on there, still certified, and on the back it says free agency or whatever.
Oh wow.
So it's not a WWE shirt. They stole the certified part, which they must own that. But yeah, so I just had to bring that up there. He was really nice. He was a lot like I was not expecting him to be as